Good morning, y'all. Happy Saturday. Good to see everybody. We got one person in here, so that counts. So we'll take a couple minutes to let everybody come on in. We are going to talk about another survey party in the Texas Hill Country. And we talked on Thursday, I believe, about a lucky survey party who was let go by the Comanche. Today, not so much the case, but a nice short Saturday morning story I think you guys will enjoy before we move on to our movie night tonight. I'll have to look at the name of the movie. I had it written down. I've never seen it before, but it should be good. Recommended to us by our own Bama Deanna. All right. Got three people in here. Okay. We had to move the stream back to 11:30. Had a lot of stuff going on. So stuff outside. I mean, I live in an apartment complex and there's always somebody doing something, it seems like. During the coffee chat stream, seems like we have to kind of work around the background noise sometimes. But that's show business. So come on in. We'll give it 5 minutes or so, and then we'll jump into our story. This is another one from Indian depredations in Texas. And that's we pull from it a lot because it's just got so many good little stories in there. You know what? Actually, I've been doing this. I'll just post a link for purchasing Indian depredations in Texas at the top of the chat here. Let's see. I should just do it beforehand. I totally realize that, but I forget. How do you keep things interesting? Regal, what's up, man? Good to see you. Is this your if it's your first time here, put a 1 in the chat because we like to greet everybody. How do you keep things so interesting? I don't know. I'm really interested in it. I really just find these stories fascinating, and there's no shortage of them. Ellie McFadden, good morning from Arkansas. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, first time here. Reg Elabursu. Is that right? Good to see you, man. Glad you made it. We've been doing quite a few of these, and we're seeing the audience grow, and these are really fun. We get to share some stories that don't make it into episodes, so that's always fun to bridge the gaps there. Hammering the coffee because it's still pretty early here. What's up, Elite Super Grunt? Good to see you, man. Hail chat. Hail HFKC. Hail Elite Super Grunt. Sorry, I was out yesterday. Had a bunch of appointments and stuff that I couldn't miss yesterday. So sorry about taking a day off. I do get a little antsy when we take days off because I like seeing everybody. Yo, you already know what time it is. Evan says, that's right. That's right. Yes, sir. Good to see you, Evan. This is kind of the inverse of 2 days ago's story where the survey party makes it out alive. Well, not so much this time. Not so much this time. But I think it's nice to keep a nice little balance with our survey party stories, right? So we'll give it, what are we at? 3 minutes. Let's wait a couple more minutes and we'll let everybody pile on in here. Got 18 people here already. All right. All right. You all doing anything with your weekend? Should be just cloudy here, but I know some people have got crazy weather. So we're pulling for everybody out there that's suffering the crazy winter weather. All right, so let's also kind of go over what we're going to be doing. So this is going to be a story titled 10 Surveyors. It is from Indian Depredations in Texas. The chapters aren't numbered, but in the ebook, it is on page 244. And if you're interested, the link to purchase is at the top there of the chat. It's like $1.99 or something on Kindle. So it's really well worth it if you're interested in this topic at all, because I say this probably every day, but it's got a bunch of little stories, which is nice. You don't have to read the background to everything. If you're just a casual fan of Old West history, it's a great read because you can pick it up 5 minutes at a time. Ellie McFadden says it's windy here in Arkansas. Yeah, it's kind of cloudy and a little rainy here. It's just different all over the country. It's cold in the UK, says Neil Turner. What's up, Neil Turner? We got a couple of UK listeners. It's like what, 5:30 your time? Is that right? Somewhere in there. These should be in next week too, guys. This is the prototype, so the actual one is going to have an HOKC on each side. So I'm excited about that. And we got the t-shirts coming too. Everybody seemed to like the t-shirt ideas, so that's cool. 5:30 says Neil Turner. That's what I thought. I'm just becoming proficient with GMT time, though not so much more for the UK, not so much for Australia. Apparently, I'm still way off there. All right, so let me get everything. This is a pretty short one. It should fit well for the coffee chat. We'll keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it relatively brutal, slightly depressing, right? All right. So what are we at here? We're at 5 minutes. I think we can jump into it. So today is going to be a a chapter called 10 Surveyors. This is going to take place in 1838 Texas. So just a couple years, really not even a full 2 years after after Texas won the Texas Revolution. And let me pull up the locations here. So it's going to start with a survey party in Bastrop, Texas, which is a little east, about 45 minutes, maybe an hour east of Austin. Let's pull up the map here. Always gives me a bunch of um, advertisements. Okay, so we're going to start here. Let me share the map. Scalping and degradations. Yeah, there's a lot of those, Blue Kachina. Good to see you, by the way. There's a lot of those. This one's a short one, so there's not a ton of detail, but suffice to say there are plenty of scalping and degradations. I guess, thankfully. All right, let me pull the map up here for y'all. So where we are starting, if you'll see over, there's Bastrop. We zoom out. We are mostly east, like just a little bit southeast of Austin. We have a survey party starting from here. Can everybody see the map now? Sam Bass was ambushed in Bastrop. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. There's a lot of history around Bastrop. We did a couple episodes that come out of Bastrop, I believe. Oh, the Battle of Brushy Creek for sure originates in Bastrop. Let me click this out real quick too. Give me a one in the chat if everybody can see the map too. I want to make sure I'm not just like talking just to talk, which wouldn't be the first time. I need to get there. We go. Okay. Close that. Close that. Okay. Sam Bass was Anders. So can everybody see the map? Just want to make sure real quick. Issues with that before. 1-1. Okay, cool. So we are here. We're starting here in Bastrop, Texas. It's a little bit southeast of Austin. And this survey party is going to make its way down. They don't say the exact route they took, but they are making its way down to just north of New Braunfels, Texas, which is here. So it's a nice little community today. But it seems like they are somewhere in this area. We don't get an exact location, but it seems like they're somewhere in between New Braunfels and today's San Marcos. They are a survey party, which is one of the most. Oops, we didn't have Toyota 4Runners at that time. There we go. So we're in this area. They're a survey party, and we've talked about this before. It is one of the. Let me zoom in on this. It is one of the most dangerous jobs that you can do in Texas at this time, especially. So we're right around because the Comanche, and we're talking about Comanche today. It just says Indians in the book, but it's more likely than not Comanche. Could be Tonkawa, but it seems like all things considered, it's Comanche, likely Pennateca Comanche coming down to the southern-ish ranges of their domain. And they know who the survey parties are. They know what they're there to do. They know that they're there to divvy up their lands. And they may not understand the practice entirely, but they know what follows shortly after a survey party is settlers and thus the divvying up and taking of Comanche lands. They're not super happy about this. They can be particularly brutal to survey parties. And we've talked about it before, how several famous Texas Rangers got their start with or served with survey parties as a security element. Comanche attacked everyone, says Mass. No, they've almost everyone. Though we talked, this is a nice counter to 2 days ago's story where they let the survey party go. Today, not so much the case. But they know who the surveyors are. They are not fans, suffice to say, and the surveyors know that they have to take extra precautions. It certainly behooves them to take extra precautions. They didn't always do so, and that kind of leads us to our story. So in 1838, a party leaves Bastrop. They head down to just north of today's New Braunfels. They're supposedly kind of working along the Guadalupe River, which runs. It's hard for me to pull it up, but roughly, there we go, Guadalupe River right here, which is what flooded in 2000 this past summer, but you can see it. Let's see here. Get a little more zoomed in. So we're somewhere along this territory, along the Guadalupe River. One of the older men who's working with the survey party, one of the most experienced guys, um, they get to this work site and the guys are working away, and he tells them, you need to be posting sentries, you need to have on guard, you need to be very abbreviated in your work details for the day. You need to go out, do work the area, survey the area that you're planning on surveying, and then immediately make your way back. So we're talking no extra hunting. Let me close this. No extra dallying around, no hanging out, and most specifically, no bee tree hunting, no honey hunting. That's not going to go over well. It takes too much time. You have to cut the trees down. Everybody is big on honey, especially in the hill country. It seems like half the historical accounts you see talk about finding the honey tree and getting the honey from the honey tree, which is like fair enough. We're not trying to begrudge anybody their honey, but time and a place for everything, right? And the oldest man here and the oldest man in the survey party, that's kind of his point. Like, we're out here to work. Don't be dallying around and getting diverted with all these little side quests, right? They don't listen to him for days. They're out there, kind of traipsing around, hunting, and looking for bee trees. Says it's not as much focus as he would like to see. And they continually tell this experienced man, like, we're not in any danger. When they look around, they don't see any danger. It seems like, at least for the time being, in 1838, the Comanches have kind of been driven to the northwest, and they're thinking we're far enough south in the hill country. Let's zoom out on this so everybody can kind of see. Uh, Canyon Lake, I don't think existed yet, so ignore that. But they feel like they are just northeast of San Antonio. Their thought is that the Comanche are well out here. They think they've driven the Comanche out onto the plains, the steppe plains of the Llano Estacado, and they have taken this land, and thus they are going to survey it. But they don't need to be terribly concerned about Comanche in the way that you may have been 5-10 years ago. So let me close this. So they're out working away for a couple days, and this experienced surveyor, who it does not give us his name, it does not give us how experienced or how old he was, only suffice to say that he, quote, became disgusted, left the party, and returned home. So it sounds like he's headed back to Bastrop. The Comanche attacked everywhere. I'll check the chat in 1 second. So he returns back to Bastrop. Sounds like some of these stories, because of their brevity, do not have as much who, what, when, where, why detail as we would like to see. But it does say that he returned home. He's fed up with these guys. They're generally much younger than him. So think late teens to early mid 20s. So a time in many guys' life where they're not making the best decisions. He tells everyone when he gets back to Bastrop that he left them there, and he says all of those guys on that survey party, they're acting crazy, and they're all going to be unalived to a man. That is his prophecy. Like he says that there's not a single one of those guys that's going to make it. We're going to have to send people out there to go bring them back. So the little party is organized, and they head south out of Bastrop. And it says they're looking for this survey party, and they can't find them initially where they were. They go back to just north of New Braunfels, and there's nobody there. That's not a good sign. Their camp is nowhere. The camp is there. The guys are not. Not a great sign. They head up the Guadalupe River, and they find a scene out of a horror movie. The creepiest thing to me is that there's 4 trees that are cut down, and they're all bee trees. They're all like full of bees, and there's going to be honey inside of them. So that's what this group was going after. They took the time to cut down, which would take a while and create a lot of noise, cut down 4 trees, and they're trying to get the honey out of them. And they had apparently been attacked while doing that, because there's very little sign of them having taken cover or have gotten into kind of a strategic position. It looks like all of them were just cut down where they fell. They've all got empty weapons. They all put up as best a fight as you can in 1838 Texas with virtually single shot weapons and hand to hand fighting, but they are all, to a man, cut down. Uh, which is an odd fulfillment of the prophecy that this older gentleman who returned from the survey party um, profited, right? Like he said, not a single one of these guys is going to make it. They get there, all these guys in their late teens, early 20s are all cut down, post-mortem mutilated per standard operating procedure, meaning scalped, eviscerated, oftentimes, I think I can say literally emasculated, not in the figurative sense. So put that together with what you will. But they get back, and it's just a scene out of a horror movie. Everyone is cut down. All these guys from the survey party are lying on the ground. Just disgusting, right? They come up upon one young man, and they don't really know who is who. It's such a gory scene that they're having trouble identifying which guy is which. And apparently, in his last gasps, he has pulled out his pocket knife and carved his name into the tree trunk, just above, as far up as he could reach. So the tree is lying down on the ground. The tree is next to him, lying down on the ground. It's already felled. And he reaches up, and on the horizontal tree log, he scratches the name, and I got to look it up here. Beatty. Beatty, because it's not something to laugh about, but it's so horrible. Like, he knows he's going to die in the middle of nowhere. He knows that there's nobody coming to save him, and he knows that he's going to die anonymous. There's no wallets, there's no ID, there's no nothing. And he's so afraid of that that in his last moments, he scratches his name into the tree so that at least when someone finds him, they at least know to notify his family, right? It's a horrifying, horrifying thing to think about. But again, as we talk about, like a lot of these stories, it's just another day on the Texas frontier. The last line in the chapter says, "It is supposed that he had been mortally wounded by the Indians and left for dead, but had revived himself sufficiently to carve his name upon his own tombstone before he died," which is a gory, a macabre prospect to think about, right? And it doesn't go into terrible details with a lot of this stuff, I think, generally to appeal to the Victorian sensibilities of the time in which it was written. But it does not say whether they think he had done it scalpless, let's say, right? And probably did. And it's just a horrifying thing to think about. And as I pointed out a couple times in this book, that's the conclusion of the story. That's the last line. It is about a page long, and it's so common. There are so many of these stories from early Texas that it just moves on after that. And imagine, like, in your hometown, imagine if today 11 guys had gone out to work, whatever, blue collar job, right? 11 guys were building a house. They're framing a house. And 10 of them, they're accosted by, let's say, a cartel, right? And 10 of them are not only taken out, but significantly, trying to think of a better word, significantly barbarized after being unalived. That would make front page news everywhere. That would be a huge, huge deal, and probably go down in the lore of your town forever. And it's just another story. It's like a page long. It hardly takes up any space in the book, and they just move right along. It's just, like I've said before, the brevity of it, the brevity of the story speaks both to its intensity, because it's there's no other way to describe this. It's like they don't even really know how the fight unfolded, other than there's a bunch of gore everywhere, and now the Comanche are gone. But it was a very intense fight, and its frequency. This happened again. How many times this happened in just that year? Who knows? Dozens in just this locale, just in kind of the central Texas, San Antonio to Austin settlement area. It would have happened dozens of times. It is just such a dangerous place, and I think hard to truly understand that in modernity. But yeah, the amount of stories that are like that are in this book is it's mind-boggling for it to all just be in one one state, and mostly in kind of the central regions of that state. It really speaks to, um, like I said, the frequency and the intensity of the conflict at the time. And just there was no safe job. If you ventured outside of these settlements, you it would be like going outside of the wire in today's parlance, right? If you were serving in the GWAT, right, it would be the akin to going outside of the wire, but that's how you lived your life. There, you weren't on deployment. You were just this is life now. This is life forever and always. So it's an intense and like also you have your wife and your kids and your parents, your aging parents, all with you. So it's just a hard thing for us to imagine living that way today. And it's I think it really helps contextualize modern day life. When you're driving around, you go to the HEB or and this isn't Texas specific. If you live in Ohio, if you live in any state in America or anywhere in North America, something like this probably happened within 10 miles of where you are today. So I think it's an important thing to understand our history, and it also speaks to how common it was and how used to brutality these people were, that a story of this brutality is like a page in this book and they just move right on to the next chapter. And I keep saying that and telling these stories, but I think it's a really important point to understand. So yeah, I think that's kind of sums up today's story. A charnel house of horrors. Think of these, if you think of these less as history stories and more as like a horror story, a suspense story, it kind of, I think it helps you contextualize it even better. It's certainly accurate. It certainly is from history. But if you think of it less in like dates, names, times, and more as in, holy crap, that's a lot of blood. That's a lot of gore, right? Or something horrible here happened. Something horrible happened here. It helps, at least me anyways, to contextualize how dangerous and how terrifying, truly just a terrifying place to exist uh, Texas was at the time. And like I said, whether you live in Kentucky, Pennsylvania, New York, Florida, California, something like this probably happened within a couple miles of where you are right now. So it helps to grasp that, to understand modernity. Mask says slow down. Nah, bro, keep up. Reminds me of Jurassic Park with eggs. I guess I'm not sure what that means. Just waking up, says Bama Deanna. Well, you made it just in time. It was a pretty short one. I just wanted to hop on and do a coffee stream. I missed yesterday, which kind of sucked, but Old Pro saw it pretty quick. Yeah, the old guy was just like, "Oh, I'm out of here, man. You guys aren't obeying. You guys aren't abiding by OSHA rules, so I'm not going to be held responsible for it." Doc Will, what's up, man? Good to see you back here. The Anglos stepped into planes. The Anglos stepped into planes warfare. It was the same across all the nations. Yep, it was varying degrees of intensity and different types of warfare depending on where you were and when you were there. But yeah, it's continent wide. Modernity is an anomaly. Yes, I'm gonna go with that. Nah, I meant they should look before. Oh, my bad. I thought you were like telling me to slow down and talking. I was just kidding too. Sorry, I kind of glazed over that a little quickly. I was just kidding too, by the way. But yeah, okay, they should look before they leap. Totally. Sorry, man. I was like going comment to comment. I was kind of being a smartass, but I didn't hammer that on. Horrific history, says Bama Deanna. Yeah, it's one that I kind of just like flip through this and try to find um, stories that are relatively short. They're all kind of relatively short in this book, but ones that I think, honestly, the ones that I have skipped over for a long time, and I go back and look at those, like this one, and it's like, that's horrifying, man. There's a lot of really well-known stories in this book, like what's a really well-known the Parker Fort raid, like that. They do a good job of covering that in this book, but we all kind of know about it, and there's nothing that I didn't know before that really stands out to me in this book. But when I look at the shorter and less well-known stories, you have to kind of read between the lines with what they're saying. Like you have to kind of think of it scene by scene. But if you can break it down in granular detail and think about, well, this guy left because he was sure that all these guys were going to get unalived, and he was right. He came back and reported it, said like, all these guys are going to get killed out there like that, and they come back to try and save these guys and they're already gone. Like That's wild. That's a wild horror movie story. Let's see. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. We don't realize how brutal history was. No, we really don't. Or we think we do, but I think we really underestimate it. History doesn't teach us real history. No, it doesn't. Mass collective. I sure know how EMPs. Is that electromagnetic pulses? Is that I feel like I'm missing that. There's eyes in the trees. I mean, like, kind of, man. Maybe eyes in all these trees. Imagine trying to work under those conditions. The Anglos, okay, we got that. A lot of history is blowing in the wind. A lot of it's getting blown away. We know that. History doesn't teach us. Okay, we got that. There's eyes in the trees. No, I meant they should look before they leave. Yes, we definitely should. Let's see. Doc says, good to be here. Yeah, man. We're glad to have you back. Hope everything's going well. Let's see. Reminds me of Jurassic Park with eggs. Jurassic Park. I'm trying to decipher that. Can you expand on that? I'm the one dropping the ball on that, Mass Collective. I'm the one that's not putting that together. But can you explain that? Oh, I'm so ashamed of myself that I'm not getting that metaphor. Could you explain that just a little bit? Because then I'm going to feel really silly. But you're saying something good there, and I'm dropping the ball. So explain it for me a little bit more at the bottom. They stole the egg. They cut down the bee trees. Okay, yeah. The people in Jurassic Park stole the egg, and the raptors, right? We're not happy about that. Or maybe it was the T-Rex. Either way, it was like, listen, just don't steal the eggs. Just don't do that. And the same thing here, like just leave the bee trees alone. Because I've never cut down a bee tree, but I would think that the chopping sound of cutting down 4 trees, and I've been around cutting down trees, and that makes a lot of noise, would probably draw the Comanche in. Right? Like it just seems like not it seems like that might have been their ultimate undoing. The Raptors chased them. Thank you, man. It's been like 20 years since I've seen Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park 2 was the Raptors. You see, you're way ahead of me with it. If it was like 10, 15 years ago, I would know my Jurassic Park stuff, but I guess I haven't seen it. And I was so ashamed but not by not getting that example. So thank you. Good to see you, Doc. Yeah, we're glad to have Doc back. Jurassic Park 3 was when they stole the egg, though. That wasn't 1? I thought that was Jurassic Park 1. Man, I'm mixing them all up I was like, "Oh, yeah, Jurassic Park 1." Okay. Man, I'm embarrassing myself here. Look forward to seeing you do the Simon Kenton story. Yeah, we'll be doing it. He runs across more historic legends than Forrest Gump. You know, the older I get, the more I'm just like, I don't wanna meet Forrest Gump. You know what I mean? I got enough things going on, and this guy, he's just doing stuff all the time. You never know what this guy's gonna do. Let's see. I watch them whenever a point is valid. I mixed I mixed it's all mixed up for me. Yeah, oh, you mean like what happened in what Jurassic Park? It really is for me, man. It's all like one big movie in my head. And Jurassic Park, I remember the original one coming out when I was a kid, and I'm serious. Like, we'd never seen anything like that before, at least in my memory as a kid. And it just maybe it all kind of blurs. But I remember Jurassic Park 2. Isn't that when Jeff Goldblum has a daughter? Is Vince Vaughn in that one, or is that Jurassic Park 3? Julianne Moore. You remember the scene where he saves them with a smoke screen? A smoke screen, dude. It's like, yes, it's in the back of my brain, but no, I don't. I kind of remember what you're talking about, but I couldn't describe it. They dress up in leaves? Dude, oh man. I guess I need to go watch them again. I missed all the Dino movies, says Unreal Estate Agent. Well, you know, they are highly fictional. I think you misread the second part of my wait, Amazing Disgrace. All right, 1 second. I think I got it, Amazing Disgrace. I think I just went on a bit of a spectrum tangent talking about how Forrest Gump weirds me out. But yeah, I mean, like Simon Kenton would be He would be a Forrest Gump character, but I'm trying to think of, like, could we talk about him in, like, a Universal Soldier context or something? No, it's all good, man. I that was my fault for going on a weird tangent about Forrest Gump. But yes, it absolutely you're not the first person to request that, and I'm trying to branch out more to the eastern half of the country, so we'll be doing that. That's because he's a super cool story. The kid was dressed up in leaves. He hid in the crashed plane and he jumped out. That's number what one is that from, Mass Collective? Is that 2 or 3? That one I do not remember. My grandson knows every scene of all the JP movies. I did when I was younger, for sure, and I remember going and seeing these in the theater, but yeah, the scenes and usually I'm pretty good with that. I can remember scenes, but I don't remember at all. The leaves scene is from Jurassic 3. He throws smoke and saves the main guy. I'll have to, like, look that scene up because I know you I know you're telling me the truth. I just, like, am totally blanking on it. That's weird. That's I'm like, I can kinda usually think of some snippet of it, and I'm blank right now. It is a shame they don't make more movies based on real history rather than romanticized history. Yeah, I mean, it is tough for studios to do that. Like, even on films like Braveheart or, it's a couple others that we've done. You name it, right? There has to be some compromises made just in the for the sake of making it entertaining and I think and accessible to most people. But I think right now they're just erring away from it because it can get you in too much trouble. It can be hard to host a show like this where it's like you have to be so measured in everything that you say because history is messy and it is often it exists in the gray, no pun intended, but um, yeah, uh, it's something and it's something that to tell you do need to tell both sides of the story, which is hard to do in a movie. But yeah, if they did, I think they'd make really good movies, but they have their hands tied by the studios in many respects. Only in comparison with the historical right place, right time sense. Wait, LOL. You mean in regards to in regard to Simon Kenton, Amazing Disgrace? Bro, that's a dope name too. Amazing Disgrace 911. I like that. It's rarely black and white, says Mass Collector. Right. Yeah, it's just rarely there are I'm sure there are instances that there are. But yeah, in general, it rarely is. History is not PC, says Doc Will. No, it's not, but it's like you guys are right. Somebody should make a movie out of these because the stories are super entertaining and they're very relatable because if you contextualize them properly, you realize that these guys on this survey party were no different than a bunch of 19, 20-year-olds today. It's the people that lose their kids are just as sad as you would be today. The people are just as afraid as you would be today. And so I think a lot of people think of people in history is kind of different than them. No, it's like, no, 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 they're the exact same people. They feel all the same things. They suffer the same things. They celebrate the same things, and that spans all cultures. That goes for the Comanche. That goes for the Texans. That goes for the Mongols and the Gauls and the Romans too. It's. I think that's something that only cinema can really drive home just through telling a story like that. And they're choosing not to right now, which is unfortunate. They are remaking Lonesome Dove. It will not. Are they really? I don't like that. Yeah, if the original was as good as it can be, then leave it alone. It's like painting the Mona Lisa again. It's not what you know, but who you know. Yes, sir, Mass Collector. Connections. Yes, sir, Mass Collector. Exactly. Wish they would do a movie on Quanah Parker. You know, that might be the safest bet because then you are through one vehicle able to tell two sides of a story. And it's someone whose existence who is genetically a colliding of worlds, right? So if they were going to make one, that might be your best bet. But then again, it's hard to fit planes warfare into movies with any degree of accuracy. Nothing remade now will touch what was made in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, pretty much, man. Pretty much. Let's see. Um, Ellie McFadden. Did I miss something here? Obama. Okay. Like the last of the Mohicans, the British didn't have weapons when Monroe left the fort and was attacked by Magua and the other warriors. Yeah, they just leave a lot. I mean, like there was no the guys in Braveheart, like William Wallace. I don't think there was no kilts at the time, or they were, I believe, well after that time. And then the blue war paint was from well before that time. So the actual visual that we have of William Wallace is way off from what it would have been like in reality. But I'm forgiving on a lot of that stuff because it's like, well, if you're just trying to sell the story and you're not being inaccurate with the actual important parts of it, you do have to make it visually enticing. You do have to make it something that you can tell in an hour and a half, 2 hours, and keep people. We've talked about this before. Like I think our barometer for getting the official HOKC stance or seal of approval is whether or not the movie piques someone's interest to look into the story further, the history further. Because if a movie is just painfully accurate and granularly accurate, that's great. But if it just bores the pants off of everybody and makes them think that this subject is particularly boring and nobody looks into it, I think it's kind of missed the mark. Oh, let's see. Like the last of them. Okay, we got that. Tyler Sheridan has the rights to Empire of the Summer Moon. I did hear that. He could do a good job with it. It'd be interesting to see. You can't make a whole movie on Empire of the Summer Moon. There's just too much going on. It talks about the raid on San Saba. It talks about Palo Duro Canyon, which happened roughly 2 centuries apart. It talks about the raid on Fort Parker, and it talks about Quanah Parker's confinement in the reservation and everything in between. So they're going to have to pick one story from it, maybe, but you're not going to have you will never be able to link all that together in a movie, even a mini series. They're going to have to really cherry pick what they want to tell from the book. The public can't handle the real truth, says Ellie McFadden. Yeah, in general. Only problem is it would be too one-sided. Wasn't The Searchers inspired by Cynthia Ann Parker, says Neil Turner. Yes, it was the tale of James Parker is what really John Wayne's character is based off of. He was a controversial character, but yeah, he deserved a movie. And I think that's the greatest Western of all time. Taylor Sheridan's 1883 was not too authentic. And I know. Yeah. But it does get people interested in the Old West. I would say that. A long time ago, it was common to hear white men before they saw them. Yeah, I would imagine so. And probably the Anglo settlers of the area were far. Well, you just didn't grow up having to stay super quiet all the time. But even then, and I get it, they're not used to staying quiet, but don't cut down the bee trees. You were specifically told not to cut down the bee trees. And then it's a bad look too, because the Comanche want the bee trees, and then you're taking their honey. You're literally taking their honey. So like you got caught doing that. It's just a bad deal. Just leave the bee trees alone. Dances with Wolves was originally supposed to be with the Comanche. Yeah, I've always wondered that. You're the only person that's told me that. But I've had this conversation with other people too, just wondering if these stories are Comanche stories transposed onto Lakota history. And my only thought is like, well, maybe the Comanche stories, the Lakota were very, very brutal themselves. So it doesn't seem like you would need to do this other than you're trying to tell the story through the Lakota. But a lot of the actual instances seem to be pulled from Comanche history. So if you know that to be true, then let me know on Real Estate Agent. But I've thought that for a while. Branding Tyler Sheridan could make that book into a real hit movie. I hope it does become a hit movie. It has all the makings. It has the makings of a hit miniseries because there's so many little stories within it that are episodic in nature. Learning to deer walk to hunt was a part of tribal importance, says Mass Collector. Is that toe to heel? If I have that right? Uh, let's see. High tech digital movies are hard to remember. The last non digital. Oh, it's a good point, Bob Knuth. The last non digital Disney movie was Fox and the Hound. Really? That's a long time ago. I've watched a cinema channel. I don't know much about cinema, but I watched one talking about why some westerns still look great, or why Raiders of the Lost Ark, I think they were talking about, looks great. It looks like $1 million today, and I guess because it's not shot digitally. Maybe I'm misunderstanding that, but she showed clips from it, and I was like, wow, this looks great. Where our movies seem to deteriorate pretty quickly. Early clashes between Comanche and Spaniards. What am I think I'm missing a first part of that. Brandini, uh, Tyler Sheridan is. You're saying that's what I said. If I missed what you were saying, just toss it back in the bottom of the chat and I'll see it. Because I see early clashes between Comanche and Spaniards, but I think I'm missing part of that. Let's see. The Sioux have a better PR machine in Hollywood, says Dockwell. Interesting. Interesting. Little Big Man, I never thought of it from that angle. Little Big Man takes a lot of liberties with history, but was a family favorite growing up. Bama Deanna does not like Little Big Man. I know that. I've never seen it. I wonder if people know American Primeval really happened. Hopefully they do. Yeah, that's a good question. A lot of people might think that it's fiction. Learning to deer walk. Okay, we got that. High-tech digital movies. We got that. Early clashes between. Okay, we got that. Artemio, what's up, man? Glad you made it in. No worries if you're late. This is like a short coffee stream. We talked about a short story. If you want to read the story, it is in Indian Depredations in Texas, and it is the chapter. Wait, I lost it here. It is. Oh no, I think I skipped one or two ahead. It is the chapter 10 Surveyors. Good story, short but brutal. Let's see. Glad you made it, man. Mass Collector. Don't trip. Toe to heel is better for you to run in general. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, you're saying the deer walk is from toe to heel. So you like kind of spread your weight out more evenly as you're going. So you're less likely to make noise. If there is a stick or something under your foot, you can feel it sooner and pull your foot back. Empire of the Summer Moon has so much they'd have to do a series, says Brandini. Oh, yes. Okay, gotcha. I obviously agree. Yeah. Unless it's just a movie about Quanah's life. Yeah, I kind of hope they don't just do that. I don't know. Maybe they could do a good job, but I do hope they make it a series, I guess. It's one that I'm glad he has the rights to, but that's a tall order. You got to watch Little Big Man. Yeah, I think we're going to make it a movie night for Chief George's role as old Lodgeskins, if anything. Okay. I think we've had some requests for a movie night for that. It was what do you mean by that, Mass Collector? It was Goman storming the castle? I'm not sure about that one. Let's see. Total heel. Yeah, walk like a ninja. Got that. Sue have a better PR machine. Okay, we got that. I think I'm almost caught up. I'm just checking back through one more time. And we'll go another 15 minutes or so because I got to go get ready for this evening's stream. Oh, Goman is a famous ninja, a Japanese Robin Hood. Very interesting. Goman. I'll write that down. Goman is a Japanese name? Goman. Okay. Let's see. The Lakota Unreal Estate agent says the Lakota were much more in population than the Comanche. The story written for Dances with Wolves was originally supposed to be the Comanche, but it was changed for the movie. Yeah, I've always kind of had a hunch that something like that was was going on there. And then they unfortunately kind of turned the tables of the Lakota Pawnee conflict because they really made it seem like the Pawnee were the, you know, incessant aggressor against the Lakota. And really, it's kind of the opposite. The Pawnee went to the American government and were like, listen, you got to get the Lakota off of us, man. Like, they are just smashing us. You got to stop it. And we did an episode on that on Massacre Canyon. Terrible battle that happened in like the 1870s, I believe. So very late in intertribal conflict, and it happened in Nebraska. What is movie night, Brandon? I was just going to have to email you, actually, Bamadana. What is the name of the movie that you wanted tonight? I think I lost it in my notes. It's South of Heaven, right? South of Heaven, west of. Because I'm going to bring it up, and then I'll put the link to rent it in the chat this evening. Let's see. Take care. Wait. Unreal estate agent. Wait. I think I'm lost. Take care. Merry Christmas to you, says Ellie McFadden. Merry Christmas to all of you. Absolutely. We'll be streaming right up through Christmas. So just in case people need some place to come hang out, they can come hang out on the live stream. And I should have another episode out Sunday, maybe tomorrow evening, but at least Monday or Tuesday. Let's see. I think it's South of Heaven, West of Hell, right? Mass Collective. Noted. Sounds good. Yeah, man. It'll this I know life's crazy out there, so doing this chat gives us all a little chance to come in and talk some history. Let's see. Yes, and what time? Tonight's live stream will start at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. South of Heaven, West of Hell. Okay, cool. What I wrote down was good, or was right. Good. I guess I could have just looked that up, but I was going to email you and just be like, is this the right movie? Let's see here. Oh, wait, no. Tonight is the Alamo. I'm mixing that up. Tomorrow would be because we divvied it up that way, I believe. Sorry, it is written on my notes, but I'm being caught in the spotlight right now. Hombre is a good one. Okay, Hombre. Let's see. Have you seen the movie Hombre? No, I haven't. I'm pretty sure I haven't. I'll try to send you the YouTube link. If I look it up on YouTube, it should be there though, right? But tonight, I mixed that up because tonight we're doing Happy Cappy's Alamo, John Wayne Alamo, and then tomorrow, I believe we're doing that's when we do South of Heaven, West of Hell. Which version of the Alamo? Tonight will be the John Wayne version, 1961. What time is that Central Time? 8 p.m. Eastern is 7 p.m. Pacific. Sorry, 7 p.m. Central. I hate these time zones. Yeah, but that's my time. So I always almost say 7 o'clock because for me, I come on at 7 o'clock, but it's 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. If you have a version that you want to show, though, that you think is better quality or whatever, you can email it to me. The movie Broken Trail, starring Robert Duvall, is great about a horse herd drive across country to sell in Canada and running into troubles along the way. Well, we got the movie night auction is always open. So usually it's like Nick Sweeney and Dan Robertson who have been picking our movies as of late. But let's see here. I will miss it tomorrow night. Tony's family wants me there as for Christmas. I don't want you to miss it. I don't have Happy Cappy's email. Maybe, all right. My only solution to that, Bamadiana, because I don't want you to miss it, would be to show up tonight. And I'm hoping, I'm sure Happy Cappy will be there because it's her movie night. Let's just ask everybody if they're cool with us showing the, because I don't want to like sound like I'm, you know what I mean, shortchanging somebody. But let's ask everybody in the chat tonight, listen, are you cool with us showing this? And then we'll show the Alamo tomorrow. I don't think anyone's going to have any issue with that. And then we'll just show yours tonight because I don't want you to miss your movie night. I'll miss it tomorrow night. Yeah, okay. Is that cool with you, Bama? And if not, then I can even push the movie night back. But like we'll figure something out so we don't want you to miss your movie night. Unreal estate agent says thumbs up. Yeah, I try like we try to be as diplomatic as we can. We want everybody to get taken care of. Yeah, let me know if that's cool with you, Bama Deanna. If it's not, Tony, husband, no problem. Yeah. If that's cool with you, then let me know. And if we do for whatever reason have to do it, have to move south of heaven, west of hell to tomorrow night, then I'll just move it even later in the week, and we'll make sure that we'll pick a day that you'll be around for. That's a shame Happy Cappy is not here. We could just ask. I highly doubt Happy Cappy is going to have any issue with that. Our cruel yet benevolent dictator. That's the best you can hope for from a dictator. Right? Let's see. You mean cool and benevolent dictator, right? That's what you mean, engineer. Let's see. What time is it? Okay, we got that. Mask, yeah. South of Heaven. Got that. A Man Called Horse is an okay movie. A Man Called Horse. Who is in that? I forget. Cheers, Thomas. Was Thomas out of here? Where's Thomas at? Oh, what's up, Thomas? Good to see you, man. What is it? It's like 5:30 your time, right? We have a fellow Brit in here. A Man Called Horse with Richard Harris. Okay. I remember this now. And I've never seen it, but I know the movie that you're talking about. Didn't he win an Oscar or something like that? Called Horse. Okay. Sorry, everyone just got back. Been busy all day. No problem, man. I was busy all day yesterday, so sorry. Sorry there was no stream. Bama Deanna, I might can work around it. I think they want me at 4 Central Time. So, are you talking about tonight, Bama Deanna? If nothing else, just shoot me an email. Let me know like when you will be around, and we'll work the movie night around that. You don't have to um, worry about it, or don't abbreviate your plans. We'll figure it out. That's how the holidays work. We have plans, we rearrange them. It's just the spirit of the season. Sorry, everyone just got back. Okay, no problem. Did y'all ever see the Alamo movie from the 80s? No, I didn't know there was one. It's because, let's see. Mass Collector says, what are we seeing here? It's a great movie. It's because it's built on the newest industry standards. I don't know what we're talking about, though, and I feel like that's a good one. I like where we're going with that. Dead Man's Walk was a good series with the Comanche. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that, Neil Turner. I remember that. That was from a while ago, right? And there was the History Channel. They put out like Texas Revolution or something like that, which just sucked. Um, they put out a couple. I think them and National Geographic have put out like The Men Who Built America and a couple others like on Jack Hayes and Davy Crockett. Like, bros, I don't know, guys. They don't make them like they used to. Alec Baldwin plays Colonel Travis. It's hard not to come up with a joke there. Bama Deanna says this is tomorrow night. You have your event, so let's try and do it tonight. I don't think anybody will have a problem with that. We'll just ask Happy Cappy. I'm sure she'll be there tonight. We'll see if everybody is cool with that, and if they are not, then we'll just reschedule your movie to whatever night that you will be around, and that should hopefully that'll keep everybody happy. But we don't want you to. We will not do your movie on a night that you're not there. Fear not. Have you seen Hostile? Yeah, man, that's a great one. That is one that like, okay, this could stand up against any Western. That was a fantastic Western. It would break his mom's heart if I wasn't there. His passing is still kind of. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, absolutely. I was misunderstanding that. Not a problem at all. At all. We will work around whatever your schedule needs to be for that movie. especially with that, considering that you do need to. Well, I'm not telling you what you need to do, but I'm very glad that you're going to be there for this event, right? I don't want to say too much in front of everybody, but that's great. I'm glad you're going to make it there. So let me know, and we'll ask tonight, and we will get it worked out. You will be there for your movie for sure. We will make it happen. Let's see here. Have I missed the main story of tonight? Well, it's this morning for us, so this is just the first story of the day. Yeah, it is. What is back at? Really, we got started pretty quickly. So about 50 minutes ago, we told a short one from Indian depredations in Texas, but short does not mean not intense. It was really intense, and I was my first time finding it in this book, so I think it's a really good one. It just we couldn't extend it out into a whole episode. Mass Collector says at the Alamo, they made sure it was safe on set. Yeah, I mean, I was trying to think of a crude joke to throw in there with the Alec Baldwin thing, but I couldn't do it with the spotlight on me. Geronimo, made for TV, 1994, was really good. Also, I'm pretty sure that I saw that when I was a kid because they had the Geronimo movie not long before that, and then the made for TV one. I was just obsessed with any Western movie. There's a few Crazy Horse films, I'm sure. There are some 90s ones. The 90s really tried to do some Crazy Horse stuff. I don't know. None of it really stands out to me. Oh, Crazy Horse 1996. That's what you think it's really good? Okay, I'm gonna rewatch it on Real Estate Agent because I watched it as a kid, so I would have been like 10 years old then. And I don't know, for whatever reason didn't catch me then. Let's see here. Son of the Morning Star is a really good film. I've heard of that, but I haven't watched it. Let's see. Thank you. Yeah, no worries, Mama Deanna. But main point is you handle what you got to handle, and I don't think tonight will be a problem. We should be able to switch it, and if not, then we'll make sure it all works out for everybody. Starring Michael Greyes, Michael Gray Eyes as Crazy Horse. Okay, I know the movie you're talking about. I will go check it out because I waited for it to come out when I was a kid. Let's see. Did it come out like on USA Network or something like that? Is there another stream tonight? HOKC. Yes, sir, Thomas Clark. That'll be the main one. We're going to do the movie night. We will hopefully do South of Heaven, West of Hell. I think that shouldn't be a problem. We have a double feature this weekend. So we might have to switch the movie titles tonight, but that'll be a movie night tonight and a movie night tomorrow. On Real Estate Agent, TNT Cable. Okay, I knew it was one of those, man. I knew it was one of those because I used to like wait all day long when those movies would come out because that was the only way to watch them then. Let's see. Helen Keller learned to talk by feel. That's what I heard. Let's see. He has been gone for 14 months now. Says, man, I'm really sorry, Bam Indiana. That is something none of us want to go through. But I'm glad you're going. That's the right, in my estimation, the right thing to do. Turner Network Television, says Unreal Estate Agent. Oh, I know what TNT is. I'm old enough to remember that. TBS, Turner Broadcast System. Is that right? On Real Estate, always trying to be politically correct. What did he say that? Turner Network Television, TNT Cable. Well, on Real Estate Agent, he's a very he's a tactful gentleman. What's up, Arizona boy? TMC, Turner Movie Classics. That's right. Hey, what's up, Arizona boy, man? Glad you're. I'm just kind of closing up shop for the morning. We're doing a movie night tonight, though. This was a short story this morning, and just kind of saying what's up to everybody. Was it the Turner you did an episode on? Fascinating story. Turner. I am blanking on that because I get so many names floating through my head. I just went to lunch at work. Oh, right on, man. How's the first day going? Is this your first or second day on the job? I guess second now. Yeah, but let us know. Let me know how the real quick. We're not going to jump off just yet, so let me know how the job's going so far. I've been wondering. I see so many numbers on this. How many men did Santa Anna have at the Alamo? 1,200 to 1,500, somewhere in there. 2,000 maybe, off the top of my head. The Alamo is its own thing, though. So, like, there are designated Alamo experts that just specialize in the Alamo. Everybody here probably knows this because it's a pretty well-known fact. But Phil Collins from Genesis, Phil Collins is the biggest collector of Alamo memorabilia in the world and a legitimate like Alamo historian himself. He just became fascinated with the story. And avoid other people to left and right of her. Oh, Jeff Turner. Yeah, Jeff Turner. Okay. Turner the Indian hater. Would love to hear more on that Turner fellow. Cool. Absolutely. There's a bunch of stuff that didn't make it into the episode, so we can cover that. You're Indian. I ended up doing 3 on his whole story, and still a lot of it couldn't be wedged into the episode. Jeff Turner. Gotcha. No problem. I've been kind of toying with the idea of doing a live stream on him, so we can make that happen. Let's see. Let's see. You did a great job on the Jeff Turner story. Thank you very much. That's an intense one. And one that's kind of obfuscated by a lot of myth too. And it seemed like people during and right after his time all knew about Jeff Turner, the Indian hater, and then his legend just kind of faded. I'm just trying to make Bamadiana. I'm just trying to make things okay. Thank you for that, though. That's one of the ones I've most enjoyed doing is the Jeff Turner. He's kind of like an Old West Punisher. The Punisher. Let's see here. But yeah, we're going to be kind of wrapping it up. But before we wrap it up, Arizona Boy, let me know how it went. I'm curious to hear that. And then tonight will be 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I still haven't gotten that down yet. For our movie night, it should be South of Heaven, West of Hell. We're going to kind of switch the titles up there. And then tomorrow should be the Alamo. Didn't you even say that Bigfoot said he was a little scared? Bigfoot Wallace. Yeah, Bigfoot Wallace was weirded out by Turner. All the Rangers with him were like, bro, this guy's a little intense. Like, not even like violent. They were just like, this guy's crazy. Like, he's lost his mind. Like, he's 80% there and 20% not there. And they were kind of like, is this guy going to get us unalived? Because he's just kind of nuts. He made them nervous. Deadwood is a good TV series. Yeah, Deadwood is legit. Let's see. Don't you have an older episode about Jeff Turner and how he died? Yeah. That's a 3-parter. It's probably been like 2 years. I think it has been 2 years since we put that out. Crazy when you're scaring Texas Rangers. Yes, when you're scaring Texas Rangers, it's a sign to maybe like chill out a little bit. Young Guns was a good film. Yeah, absolutely. They're putting out another Young Guns, I believe. Wild West Extravaganza. Josh was talking about that. Was Blood Meridian based on a true story? I think it just has a lot of elements of true stories in it. But as a whole, no, I don't believe based on a true story. Should have an older episode. Got that. Arizona Boy. It's in the chat. Let me see. I just went to lunch at work. What's in the chat, Arizona Boy? It's in the chat. I'm not sure. Fievel Goes West is a classic. Absolutely. That's my generation's Western. Let's see. Blood. Okay, we got that. Okay, I think we're caught up. So yeah, let me give my pitch one more time. Movie night tonight. Come and join us. We'll be on at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll be on 8 p.m. Eastern. 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll do movie nights with South of Heaven, West of Hell. And yeah, that'd be fun. A good Saturday night movie night. We should have another episode out Monday or Tuesday at the latest. We'll have a couple shorts this whole weekend. So 2 or 3 shorts today, 2 or 3 shorts tomorrow. If you haven't already, go check out our Mountain Man Massacres episode that came out on Thursday. It gets moving fast, and sometimes I forget. But our latest episode, Mountain Man Massacres, I It's one of the ones I like the most because I like mountain men and massacres are interesting. But yeah, it's already out. Go check that out. I think everyone here will enjoy it. Am I forgetting anything else here? We've got merch coming in. Should be in this next week here. What else? The book is getting. We're working on the book. Should be done here in January. And anything else? I feel like I'm for sure forgetting something, but it's just floated away by now. But big thing, come on back for tonight's movie night and our history stream, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Be there or be square. Arizona boys giving us an update real quick. Basically, my second day is good. I just feel a little out of place. Yeah, but that happens, man, because I haven't caught my rhythm yet. Don't even sweat it, man. I've had more first days than I think anybody I know. I've had a lot of first days, a lot of last days. So stick with it, man. We all got your back. We got your back. I'm happy you got the job. See you guys tonight, says Thomas Cloak. Man, thanks for stopping by, Thomas Cloak. So it'll be the typical 2:00 in the morning for you, but I hope you can make it. I think we'll have a good time. One Freddie V says, thank you as always. Yeah, thank you. Thank you to everybody that shows up, man. I really appreciate all the support. I'm so happy that people are interested in participating. So really, it means the world to me. Great stream, man. Thank you very much, Neil Turner. I'll try to stay awake from it. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, everybody. Thank you guys. So come on back. We'll be here 8 p.m. Pacific. I swear I'm going to get it right, guys. 8 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Eastern, and 5 p.m. Pacific. Thank you all again for all the support, and I'm looking forward to seeing y'all tonight for movie night. Happy Cappy. Oh, Happy Cappy. Actually, man, I was just about to sign off. We actually need to talk to you. Happy Cappy. Bama Deanna cannot. Sorry, we're doing some inside baseball here, guys. But Bama Deanna cannot make it tomorrow night for her movie night. So would you be okay with us switching the order and doing the Alamo tomorrow night and Bama Deanna's movie South of Heaven, West of Hell tonight? Is that okay with you? Because we were specifically talking about. You can go rewind this stream. We were like, well, we got to go find Happy Cappy and we got to talk to her to see if she's okay with that. Just let me know if that's okay with you in the chat here, and then we'll sign off. But I've been hoping we'd see you this morning so we could just ask you then. Let's see, just got here. Oh, Jamie, what was the topic today? Well, this is just the morning stream, so a little more casual, a little shorter. This was on the chapter called 10 Surveyors from Indian Depredations in Texas. The link to get that book is at the top of the chat. Highly recommend you getting that if you don't have it already. It's a really short read, but a really brutal story of a surveyor party being warned or being warned to be more diligent about watching out for the Comanche, and they didn't listen. It turned out bad for them. So go check that out, though. Rewind the stream. I think you'll like that. And then come on back tonight, too. This is just our kind of shorter coffee talk stream. I'm waiting for an answer from Happy Cappy, guys, and then we'll sign it off. But you have jurisdiction, Happy Cappy. Let's see here. Hi, Freddie. Makes sense. Okay, we got that. Just got here. Seems okay to switch times movies for me, says Unreal Estate Agent. I agree, but it is Happy Cappy. This is like the movie night that she was gifted, so we want to make sure it's okay with her. Let's watch Bama's movie. Cool. All right, that works for me. And we'll do Alamo tomorrow. It doesn't change anything other than that. That'll be it. Cool. I appreciate it. Bama had some logistical stuff come up, so we were waiting until this evening to talk to you. Thank you so much. That smooths things out for us, Happy Cappy. And then nothing changes for you. We'll do Alamo tomorrow. Great. All right. Well, we got some friendly people in the chat, guys. Always appreciate it. Everybody here is really cool, and you make the stream really easy to do. So really, thank y'all. All right. So with that in place, we will be back tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and I think we'll have a good time. So come on back, and we'll see y'all tonight. Thank you again. Y'all have a good day, and God bless. We'll see you soon. Bye.